Hello everyone and welcome to episode 76 of the Ski Instructor podcast. My name is Dave Burrows and I'm the director and owner of Snowpro Ski School based here in Val d'Illier in Switzerland, and I hope that you are all well. Summer is finally what I call summer, because we're going to have probably a glorious September like we normally do, and maybe even into October, but August and the school holidays are drawing to a close. That means for me, these kind of 2 dead months where no one wants to talk to me about skiing are almost over. I'm sitting here at my desk working through various bits and pieces of admin that I've got to do, and this mega list of all of our clients from last year and people that have requested to speak, be contacted early and various other things. Getting in touch with all of those guys now, saying, hey, now's the time to think about booking ski lessons, because actually we're going to be on snow in a few short months. So that's kind of my role now, slipping into that role for the autumn, and kind of giving up the long summer. So I've kind of had we've had a bit of a staycation here this summer. Switzerland's a lovely place to spend the summer, especially where we are, at a bit of altitude, because you don't get this sort of, is that a helicopter? Yeah, it is. Sorry, listener, I'm really distracted. There's a sort of a UFO looking thing flying across the hillside, but it actually it's the big helicopter that delivers stuff. Anyway, where was I? So we were, so stayed at home here in Switzerland, did loads of kind of Swiss stuff, which is really cool. Spent a lot of time by the pool. There's a kind of just up in Chompery, there's an amazing kind of, it sort of turns into like a beach club almost, but it's a swimming pool, nice and warm outdoors, places you can sit, read books and hang. I've done a lot of that this summer, done a lot of riding bikes and just generally being here. And actually I love the summer holidays. I love this kind of the slow pace of it, and actually these mornings when we're back to school now, getting up early every day of the week, it just drives me bananas. And I hate being hemmed in I hate being dictated to by the hours of the school. It really drives me bananas. There's not much I can do about that apart from homeschooling my kid, and we don't really have time to do that. So yeah, we've got to work with that. Everyone getting up early again, and that's the run in, to the autumn. It's a shame that there isn't another way that society can organise itself, but hey, here we are. So anyway, kiddos back to school. I'm back to kind of, sitting in the office here, and I suppose that's the more culture shock thing, doing office stuff when I've been used to doing it, sitting by the pool. Anyway, enough about my summer holidays. This week, I've got a lovely interview. I've just listened through to it, and this interview is with Anna Norlin Berg and Jul Baudin, who are ski instructors and educators from Sweden. I'm going to probably butcher a whole bunch of kind of stuff in accents and things, so you just bear with me. I'm just going to say it in English, and that'll do. But so Anna is an educator for one of the Swedish ski associations. Joel runs a ski school up in the north of Sweden somewhere. I'm not going to attempt to say the name because I just can't, but it comes out in the interview. You'll get it. And I sat down, had a lovely conversation with these guys, and touched on a whole bunch of different subjects. So we talked about their sort of journey through the various ski instructor systems. We talked about how the ski instructor systems work within Sweden and how they all come together for things like interski and various others. There's a bit more hockey chat, which is kind of, this is a fairly old interview, so it's kind of still finishing off the chat about that topic. Doesn't last long, but that will probably go now. My obsession with that has kind of gone a little bit. And we talk also about the kind of the technical model, how Swedes talk about skiing, and we talk also about interski. So there's quite it's a long interview, this one. It's quite wide ranging, it's quite in depth, and it's a fun one. In addition to this chat with Jul and Anna, they also run a podcast in Sweden in Swedish, but they've got a couple of English language episodes as well, of which I am one of them. So if you look down in the notes for this particular episode, you can then access their interview with me. Why they want to interview me, no idea, but it was very nice of them to do so. And we sat down and had a lovely chat, and that gives you a bit more info about me, which doesn't necessarily always get covered on this podcast. So if you're interested in that and you're interested in hearing my ramblings and preachings and various other bits and pieces, you can have a look at that. And they did a very, very nice interview with me. I'm very pleased with how that one came out. So that was terrific. In terms of getting on snow, I'm planning to go mid-September. I want to get going early this year, mid-September to Sasfe probably, or Chivinia, I'm not sure which, and then I'm going to do the same late September or October, and then sort of really gear up towards the skiing through sort of November, December, and we've got a lot of work to go through already. I've been looking at the diary just now, and it's absolutely bonkers. We've already got clashes and planning issues to sort out, and it's getting busy. So lots to come, lots going on. In terms of upcoming podcasts, I've got lists and lists of them. There's at least half a year's worth of podcasts sitting here if I do them on a monthly basis. Another half a year's worth to arrange, and two already interviews lined up as well. So plenty of content to come, lots of people from various different parts of the world to be interviewed, and I think hopefully this one, for all of you that like to have the content from different countries, this one's going to be a really, really interesting one for you, because these guys obviously know all about Sweden and Swedish things, and it certainly gives us another flavour and another perspective on skiing in that part of the world. So I hope that you very much enjoy this interview with Jolana, and we started off the interview, I pressed record, talking about Anna falling off of her bicycle on the way to record the podcast. Wish you all well, and see you on the next one.
Just told you while we were waiting for you, I used to take my bike to the train and go to work.
Right.
And this morning in a curve, another woman came and she just ran into me. And I was like, didn't you see me? No.
Oh, wow.
Didn't you hear me? I was like yelling at you. Oops. Keep on your side of the road. No, I had so high music in my ears, so I was like, So now I'm pretty sore because I had a bar in my stomach.
Oh, were you going pretty fast?
I was not going fast. She was.
Oh, she was going really fast.
I just had crossed the road, so I did not have that much speed.
Oh, okay. But she was just having a lovely time.
Yes, and she was like, I like to go on the left side in this curve. And I was like,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Danger of riding bikes, you know?
It's good to go on the right side.
Imagine having that, if you were in a car and having that argument. I like going on the wrong side of the road on this curve.
I didn't think it was so much people outside this early in the morning, she said. And I was like, Oh.
So, the rules don't apply depending on whatever time it is.
What time it is.
Yeah, okay. Well, indeed. What I normally do, I've already done it actually, is I just press the button on the recording and then I just edit up later, make a nice introduction, all that sort of stuff. And we just sort of see where we get to. So I don't normally these days do like a formal, like a formal like intro piece. This is Joel, this is Anna, blah blah blah. I just do all that before, and then we just get on with the conversation. It seems to flow a little bit better like that. So all good, and maybe we'll add a little bit of colour that you've been, falling off bikes and stuff this morning. Good. All right. So, welcome to the Ski Instructor podcast. I appreciate you taking the time. We actually spoke. Was it last week or the week before? I can't remember.
I think it was the week before.
It was the week before.
Yes,
so you very
last
kindly.
week was busy enough.
Yeah, you very kindly interviewed me for the podcast that you run. Why you picked me, I have no idea, but I appreciate it. And what I thought, because I spent most of that interview talking about myself, I thought it would be a much, much better idea if we talked to you, because one of the things that a lot of the listeners to my podcast really like is that they like to hear what skiing is like and what systems are like and how it works in other countries. And for all of the podcast interviews that we've done up to this point, like we've never been to Sweden, so we get to talk about all things Swedish this time, hopefully. So welcome to you both. What I normally do to get the podcast going, I suppose, is to just kind of find out how you got into skiing, like what your story and your journey was. That's, I think, often a really, really good place to start. So do you want to tell me all about that? Like, how did you end up where you are now?
Before we do that, can I just ask you a question, because I'm really curious? Like, what's your view of Swedish skiing and Swedish ski instructors from your vantage point?
Wow. What's my view of Swedish skiing ski instructors? My knowledge is limited. All of the ones that I have met are lovely. Like really, really nice people. And they ski well. They ski really,
and where did you meet
well.
them?
I only really know like one or two, but obviously I know John in Verbier. He's probably like the most famous Swedish ski instructor that I know. And yeah, we think in a very similar way about skiing, just generally being. I've got quite a lot in common actually with John, in terms of like how our journey, came to be. In terms of skiing, the level of the skiers that I know is high. And I don't know, like willing to travel, like willing to kind of get out there and go and experience and see new things. And for me, that's really, really cool. And in general, the Swedes that I've met in my life, just, lovely people. Like, it's how it is. I think there's something to do with, like small nations, like not millions and millions and millions of people, like, where I come from, but millions of people, small country. I'm thinking, something like New Zealand or whatever, where, it seems to be like a rite of passage, like you leave the country and you go and travel and you experience other different things. And that
True.
Yeah, so I don't know whether that is a cultural thing with you guys, but that seems to be what I see for sure. And of course, everyone I speak to speaks immaculate English, which is just incredible. So, yeah. Why do you ask? Why do you ask, Joel?
No, I ask because, in the circles we and I spend, you sometimes you talk about other countries and how they look at skiing, or from a ski instructor's point of view. Mm-hmm. And if we, for example, Austria is very good, but they're quite strict. The Swiss are very, perhaps, on the top of the totem pole when Swedish ski instructors talk about other ski instructors. Okay. And Sweden is perhaps a bit more loose and a bit more, perhaps more focus on the leadership aspects of the job, whilst not undermining the technical ones, but that's where it stands out. So I was just curious about that from a non-Swede's perspective.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that we'll get to that, because I've certainly got that on my list of things to talk about, which is going to be, you know, like technical model and how it all goes together. I agree with you about the Swiss. I think in terms of how they ski, technically, I think they're probably the freest in terms of how they move. I've always been attracted by that, and that's kind of how my skiing has developed over time. But yeah, I mean, I think if you grow up in a snowy place, you have that kind of touch and that feeling for the snow. And I think, you know, if you even look at a higher level and you talk about like how Sweden kind of punches well above its weight, you know, in terms of the World Cup and stuff, you know, like that's a really amazing thing for a country of 4 million people, maybe, if that. You know, it's really impressive.
Yeah, we have nowadays. There's 10 million people in Sweden.
No, there's not. There's not enough space for 10.
We have.
Where do they all live?
Sweden is
they all live in Stockholm.
Big.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Everybody lives around Stockholm, and
yeah, I was going to say there's like 10 million people there,
on
and
the course,
3
on the east coast,
yeah,
and in the southern of Sweden. So we got lots of spaces and places where nobody lives, and that's where the good skiing is.
Yeah, Sweden is 70. Okay. I think it's going between 70 and 80% forest.
Yeah,
it's some of the last true wilderness places is in Sweden if you go up north.
I've had this kind of dream for a while. So I want to jump on a motorbike, and I'm going to go. Eventually, one day I'll get around to it. But I want to do a big loop around the Baltic Sea. Mm-hmm. So I want to go up. It's a long journey, but it could potentially be really, really interesting. You sort of go up, you go all the way Norway, Sweden, Finland, over the top, down through the Baltic countries, and back, and kind of, I just want to see that wilderness, like just disappear off into the middle of nowhere. That would be really cool.
Very good.
It's if you want to do that, you need to check out Riksgränsen. As a skier, Riksgränsen and Narvik, of course, but also go to Lofoten. That's perhaps one of the most spectacular sort of nature experiences I've had.
I'm gonna come back to you when I finally get around to that trip. It's probably gonna be like 10 years time or something, but I'll get around to it one day. Cool. Yeah. So tell me, what was your story? Like, how did you get started? Where did you end up? That's
do you want to start? You will?
No, I've talked, so you go ahead.
I've always been skiing since I could walk. My mother went to work in the Swedish mountains when I was a small kid in the winters, and I was staying in a ski area with her in the winter. Mm-hmm. And I got a lot of friends from there. My mother and father was divorced, so when I started to go to school, she moved to Stockholm because my father lived there. Mm-hmm. And I went to school there. And on that time, it was good snow in Stockholm, slopes, and lots of cross-country skiing as well. So we were skiing as often we could. And when I graduated, when I was 19, I moved to the same ski resort as she worked when I was a kid. Okay. And I started to work in snowboard school. Yes, teaching snowboard. Snowboard was very new then. So it was easy to get a work if you could ride on the snowboard. So, but there was no snowboard instructors educations courses then. So I took a ski instructor course and used all the skills from teaching and that on snowboard techniques. And after a while, the skis were straight, by the way. Then. So it was very difficult for me to ski. And when I started to go snowboarding, the turns were so much easier.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah,
you could carve.
Mm-hmm.
And it was much harder on those straight skis. So when the skis started to get more of the modern shape, in the 98 or something, I moved to ski on ski. I slowly started to go over to skiing. Mm-hmm. And in 99, I had moved to Norway and I tried to get on the ski instructor exam of Sweden. First time I did not fail. I did fail. I did not manage it the first time. I was very nervous. So when it was time for moguls, I took 4 right turns.
I think we've all been there. Yeah.
So and the course conductors, the examinators, they were like, but when you're not getting tested, we can see that you can ski. So just use it. And I had to come back. And from the first part to the second one, to the first time I was to the ski instructor exam, I was just doing a lot of mental training. To get rid of my head stopping me in the when I was supposed to be good when it's time.
Yeah.
And that was very interesting. I did not have that winter I didn't have anybody to train with, so I trained a lot on my own, and I had to be my own coach. And that was very important for me. I have realized afterwards, because it was I did not before that. When I was training, I was very I was dependent of that somebody was telling me, do that, do not do that, that you have to.
Yeah.
So, but when I did not have a coach, I had to be my own coach. I understand skiing much more in the bigger picture. So I've got to understand my skiing and how the skis works and what I need to train for. And it also made me a much better ski instructor.
How when you, if you don't mind me just interrupting the story for a second, the reason I'm being so polite is I just spent a weekend in England and everyone says sorry to everyone there all the time. So when you are training yourself, because I've done a fair bit of that too, how do you know if the outcome of what you're doing is correct?
I use the video camera. These days, you just take your phone and you're doing filming. It's very easy.
Yeah.
But on that time, you had a small camera. Lots of small buttons. Very cold in Norway. In January.
Yeah.
And the batteries went out all the time. So
yeah.
I made films, connected them to the TV on the ski school, watched myself, and then I could see what do I see on a very good skier, and why am I not there? So
were you setting up like the video camera on a tripod and just leaving it at the bottom of the hill, or how are you doing it?
No, I had my sister.
So she was following you around.
Yes.
Okay.
So she was like, okay, you get 2 rounds today.
Oh, wow.
She's not that interested as I am. You get 2 rounds. You better do it good.
Okay. Wow, she sounds mean.
And the next weekend, and I was like, it's Monday, maybe 3 rounds.
Yeah, okay. Did you, curiously enough,
Throw me a beer.
did you get more benefit from? I've always found that I see more when I'm videoing from behind.
Yes.
Right, you see more there, don't
yes.
you? Rather than just the classic front-on shot.
In reading from the front, just doing it in front of you, it's very difficult because I think it's difficult to see everything because it's getting so flat, and you don't see the speed and you don't see the angles in every direction. So. Since skiing is very three-dimensional, I think you need to do the video from lots of angles.
Yeah, I think you're right. And why were you in Norway doing this?
And
do you understand?
To Norway. I started in Sweden in this game in Sälen, and after 5 years, I went to Norway to be a ski instructor. It was hard to be a ski instructor in Sälen and girl.
Why?
Because the
men.
Yes,
you can tell me. It's okay.
All my male colleagues get more and more paid for every year,
right?
And I had the same salary all the time, and I was not happy with that. So I decided I realized that I can do two things. I can move or stay and accept it and not be angry with it.
Okay. So you moved.
So I tried that for 1 year.
Yeah. And then
I moved.
Okay.
So, but it's better now. It's much better now. It's a better climate for on the ski schools for the gender equality is much better nowadays days on the salary part.
Yeah, understand. And is there any issues? Like if you're a Swede going to Norway, like do you understand each other?
Yes, we do.
So explain to me how that works, because I've listened to Swedish and Norwegian. They're equally baffling to me. But like, what you can essentially, if you just speak Swedish there, they understand what you're saying. So it's sort of like a dialect difference kind of thing.
Yes. It's like a kind of a dialect, and the Norwegians are very good in understanding Swedish. In the 70s, in the 80s, the Norwegian television was very, very bad.
Okay.
So they were watching Swedish television.
Oh, right.
So they understand Swedish very good.
Oh, wow.
Cool. And it is. I think it's fair to say that it depends on who from Norway you speak to, because some of their dialects are really hard to understand, but others are like completely like it flows without problems. So, for example, from the Oslo region, it's way easier to understand, or you go from further up north. But in the same way, I'm from the north of Sweden, and someone, Anna, for example, from Stockholm, might have a hard time understanding my Swedish at times as well. Not these days, but if you would have talked to my grandmother.
But my grandmother is also from Norway, so I'm familiar with the language. But a lot of Swedish people are working in the ski industry in Norway.
And it's sort of like, how do you say, porous borders between the countries, but it's flowing more Sweden to Norway because the pay is better in Norway in general.
Right.
So young Swedes often take some time in Norway to earn some cash during the summer. Yeah, for example.
Oh, that's interesting.
And they have a big ski industry, but they don't have that many people who wants to work in the ski industry. So a lot of Danish people is also working in Norway.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yes.
And do they understand each other?
They speak.
That's different. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's interesting. All right, because I mean that happens. I think that happens everywhere, right? Like you would. I've been to places in the UK where I distinctly remember being in a taxi once in Glasgow and I'm not understanding a word. Like two of us were speaking nominally the same language, but you didn't get anything the guy was saying. Doing that polite thing. We were just going, yeah, it's really interesting, and nothing. And the same thing weirdly happens to me here in Switzerland. So in Valais, where I live, I pretty much understand most of what people are saying to me these days. But if I go to the countryside region of Canton Vaud, which is only the other side of the river, it's not very far away. If you get deep into the countryside there, I don't understand a thing. And they're speaking French, but the way that they do their accent, it just goes completely over my head. It's really weird. And then the city, which I think is the same as for cities everywhere, they just speak really fast, and I guess it's, time is money in the big city, but you just don't get, it's too fast sometimes for me to understand. But that would be the same if you went to Paris as well, right? You just wouldn't get it. So, language, funny thing, huh?
Yeah,
it is.
But it's functional. I think Norwegians and Danish people adapt their language for us to understand more than the other way around.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's nice of them. All right. So you were in Norway, taking exams, filming yourself.
Yes, understanding skiing, understanding all the parts of skiing and teaching. And it was... by that time, I realized that I can take my exam. I can take the highest level. I can get my pin. And in the same time, I also understood that I want to teach ski instructors. But first, I want to go out abroad. So after I took my exam in 2001, I went to Champery in Porto Soleil.
Yeah.
For 2 winters.
Cool.
We talked about that.
We did talk about that on the last podcast, which you'll have to look more about elsewhere, listener. But and I'll leave a link to that one just so that you can go and listen to that one if you would like to.
And that was super interesting and very good for my development. Yes, the slopes are so much longer. The snow is much deeper.
Yeah.
So I took my skiing to the next level when I worked in Switzerland.
Oh, that's cool. So you worked for Luke, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Right. So there was actually a possibility, because one of the interviews when I came to, I didn't mention this when we talked before, but one of the interviews that I had when I first came here, so I had 2 ski schools who I could have worked for, and one of them was the Swiss ski school in Champery.
Yeah.
And I sat down and had a really nice chat with Luke, actually. And
so he's still in the business? He's
still there, but he's not the director of the ski school anymore. Okay. He stepped back a little bit. So nowadays he teaches a bit, skis around, drinks coffee, usual thing. But yeah, I mean, he's getting on a bit now, But so we could have been colleagues.
We could
have been colleagues, like sliding doors.
And when I get a job there, there was no Facebook, there was no Instagram. It was very difficult to get an address to write an email address. It was not easy to find. Internet was not what it is now.
Yeah.
So I've got his email. I sent an email, and I was like, the day after, hello, when can you come? Okay.
Exactly how it was with me. Yeah.
It was very interesting also because, you heard about the salary thing. So when I get there and I was like, do I get paid? And he was like, yes, you're going to get paid. But first, you're going to work for 3 weeks. And I'm going to talk to all your guests. And depending on what they are saying about you, you get paid after that.
Okay. Wow.
And I was like, hey.
Fair enough. Yeah. Interesting. I didn't get that far. Like, my interview process with him was chatting about hunting. And that was about it. Like, that's about as far as it went. There was no chat at all about technical skiing or teaching or anything like that. It was just, but hey, that's how it goes. I think I did it in French though. It's quite impressive.
Oh,
back then, my French wasn't
French then.
Yeah, but that's how it goes. Okay.
And after I went to Swiss for 2 winters, I started to feel a little bit homesick. So I found out that I want to live in Sweden. So started to live in Sandviken, and the ski area we have here is called Kungsberget, the King's Mountain, directly translated. And it's a small area, but it's big to be close to Stockholm.
Yeah, okay. I was going to ask you about that earlier. So there are mountains
it's
close
2
to...
hours drive from Stockholm.
Okay. Is that like the nearest kind of big place?
Yes, it is. It's like 2 or 3 around.
Okay.
In the same distance.
So if you live and work in Stockholm and you want to go skiing for the weekend, you go somewhere like that. Yeah, okay.
I managed to ski school for 3 years, and then I had like a crisis because I was turning 30. So I started to study on university.
Okay. Well, so you went back to school, or
Yes.
you were doing it at the same time?
On the same time.
Okay.
So I have a master in design, and so now I'm working, and I'm just working part-time on the office with in the closest city called Gävle.
Okay.
But I'm also working with doing educations for ski instructors. I'm now head of the exam board for the Swedish ski instructor exam.
Okay. Cool.
So,
all right. Was there a selection? Was there a selection for that? So once you reach the full certification, then you have to go to a different, another pathway to.
In 2013, I had a call. We want you to be on the board for the ski instructor exam. So I could not say no.
Okay.
It was too interesting. So I started with that year, and the same year I was skiing with Joel for the first time. Just a few weeks before that. And 3 years ago, I had a question if I could take a lead in the board.
Okay.
Now I'm here.
Next thing you know, you're the person to know, head of the exam board.
Yeah. So it's nice. It's very fun. It's very good people, and it's very interesting and challenging work.
Okay. Perfect.
So, and I've been to the demo team for a few times.
How is that a separate selection, or does that just come with like, oh, you're a good skier, you should come with us, or did you have to go and qualify?
It's a selection.
Okay.
So how did it work the last time?
The last time, I was one of those who was doing the election.
Oh, okay.
So okay. Oh no, but did you go last time as well? Well, of course you go because you were.
Yes, I went.
Were you on the team, or were you managing the team?
I was on the team.
Okay, so you selected the team and selected yourself.
Yes, because I have been on the team the year before.
Yeah.
And the person who wanted to stay in the team, we were the ones who was doing the selection.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So it was like, this is your colleagues.
Yeah.
You're doing it, and this is we are looking for persons who can fill those skills. So.
Oh, okay. So it's like a sort of like a winner stays on system. So if you stay, you keep going until such time as you don't want to stay.
This is how it was then, but I don't know how they are doing it now.
Oh, okay.
This is a bit of a contested topic because at the moment Sweden does not have a demo team, and it's being debated if Sweden needs a demo team.
Ooh.
So that's
by the organizations.
Right. So this
you can.
Yeah.
If I'm going to paint some color here, is that the sort of Swedish skiing, or at least for ski instructors, is sort of led by something called the Swedish Ski Council, which is a member organization from all of the big organizations that educate ski instructors. So you have Friluftsfrämjandet, which is the Swedish Outdoor Organization, which is what me and Anna represent and work within. Then you have something called SLAO, which is the sort of the lift facility organization.
Okay.
The thing that the professionals use. Again, a member organization. Then you have the Swedish ski instructor member organization for ski instructors, and then you have Norwegian ski instructor organization, and which was SLAO, Friluftsfrämjandet,
Skidlärarföreningen.
Svenska Skidlärarföreningen.
Förbundet.
Yeah, Swedish, the racing part of skiing.
Okay.
So, the Swedish. Anyway, so that's 5 organizations, and they in turn elect the examination board that Anna is leading.
Okay.
So if you want to be part of that, you apply. So you basically send in an application, and then you get reviewed.
Yeah.
And that is made up of experienced ski instructors across Sweden.
But who's selecting that? This is a great tangent already. Who is
the chairman?
The chair. Okay. Who's the chairman? Anna. Right. Okay. Chairperson, maybe.
Yeah.
But or chairwoman. The
I don't take any decisions on my own, of course.
Of course. It's not a dictatorship.
No, not at all. If somebody is applying, I talk to a lot of people who knew this person and work with them. And what do we need in the group now? Do we need something some skills that you can get from having another work?
Yeah.
For example, and then we take decisions together. We do that a lot.
Okay, but you were saying that the debate was whether it was needed at all. But who? Are you saying that?
You're talking about the demo team.
Yep.
Is it selected from all 5 of those organizations you mentioned, or is it just
reputations from those?
So anyone who's a member of any of that lot, those 5 organizations can put themselves forward for the demo team to go to interski.
And we can come back to that. We don't know yet, actually.
Okay.
Because they are working a lot with it right now. I know that because one of those people asked me, so what preferences did you have the last time when you could apply for the demo team? So my guess that is something's happening.
We'll come back to that in the interski
probably
section.
We're going to have a good representation on. I'm head of the exam board, and I just knew how I do to get people into the exam board, and that's what it was. We've talked about it right now. So but for the demo team, it will be very interesting and to see how they do the selection. And I'm not sure if they're gonna have like you sending in an application or if they are picking people. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
We don't know.
All right, Joel, can you give me your story? Like, how did you?
I want to tell something first.
Go on.
Before you will. Today, when I ski on regular basis, like every weekend, I'm a coach in a ski club called Kungsbergets Alpine. And the most famous skier we have in the club is Sara Hector.
Who, sorry?
Sara Hector.
Oh, really? Well, she's just hanging out at your ski club?
Yes, we are in the same club.
Wow.
So I'm coaching, training U14 and the U16 in that club.
14, 16.
14, 16, yeah.
14, 16.
Okay. Cool. All right. So you're race coaching, examinating, educating. Every now and then you'll teach some real people. Some actual guests, maybe teaching ski teachers. Okay. All right. Do you actually ever do any what you might call like real ski teaching? Like, do you ever get pulled in and teach
not
actual?
that often, because most of my time that I spend is on coaching.
Yeah, education.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
So.
All right. Cool. Joel, tell me. Yeah. Tell me what's your story? I know you don't like talking about yourself. I can tell.
No, yeah, I love it. No, but I think one important fact regarding Sweden, which I think is because everything is there's no government backing between any of this.
Yeah.
So a lot of the discussion of demo team, no demo team, etc., interski, no interski.
Yeah.
From my perspective is about how should we finance this? How can we be smart about actually getting this done?
Yeah.
So there's often that like it's grassroots in a way.
Yeah, they have the same. I know that for a fact with the Irish associations that everyone who goes pays their own way to go. You know, that's what can you do, right? There's not a limitless pot of funds.
No, of course.
And you would look at it. I mean, I know that this has been a point of contention with some other organizations as well, where essentially the members are asking, well, hang on a minute, we're paying how much money to send these same people over and over again to interski? They get to have a nice time, hang out with all these people, but the members question what actually comes back from that. And whether indeed they should pay for it at all. And I can see their argument. Absolutely see their argument. You know, it's probably not cheap to go there.
Yeah. I think the flip side of all of this, if we talk from the Swedish perspective again, is that it's very much driven by like personal desire. So what can I do to contribute to this community and also get to ski more and evolve as a person, as a leader, as a skier.
Yeah.
So you don't really get something for free, and especially living up, like especially in the Swedish Outdoor Organization, that is what's that? What's the English word for that? But it's non-paid, so it's like voluntary work. Back to your question then. So I did not grow up skiing, ski racing, anything. I think I've learned to ski when I was about 1 or 2 because my father was really passionate. But I grew up playing hockey. Okay. So that was like my thing. If you're from this town, Örnsköldsvik, where I live, it calls itself the heart of hockey, and we have a lot of famous NHL players and all of that. So hockey was the thing. But when me and my wife we moved up to Umeå, which is sort of the biggest town in the north of Sweden, and started studying at university. I saw a poster at the campus it was such an ancient image of like a 90s skier, powder Canada or something. It was totally unrealistic to be in Umeå.
Yeah.
But it says, do you want to be a ski instructor? And both me and her was like, yeah, that sounds fun. We have no idea what it means. So we went to this meeting on a Monday evening and found out that there was basically no introduction. It was more, put your name down here and start working. And you're going to go to a course here in December. Mm-hmm. So that was in 2008. And since then, I've always had it as my sort of alternative career. So it's been studying at university, and then I studied software engineering, and then into working as that professionally, but always skiing and ski instructing to be the sort of the side hustle and the escape from the keyboard. Mm-hmm. And it's all been in the Swedish Outdoor Organization, or Friluftsfrämjandet in Swedish.
Yeah.
And I'm very grateful to that organization, because when I was 20 at that time, they were like, here, you can run this ski school, take these groups. And it's very much, it worked for me because I like to do stuff. I like to learn by doing. And it's been such a good symbiosis between normal working life, professional life, and evolving sort of leadership skills and people skills within skiing. Mm-hmm. And then it goes back and forth. So did all of my courses by 2015, and then we have had 2 kids since then. So that sort of put a damper on the velocity of getting to the Swedish exams. But after 7 years, my wife's told me that I've said that I would do it next year for 7 years. And so then I got the kick in the behind that I needed to get the pin that we talk about. So it's been a, a journey with a lot of evolving, learning about not being able to perform under pressure, learning how to perform under pressure with what I have, and also not comparing yourself or comparing your journey to someone else's journey. Yeah, I've often had I should be in. I just recently, my wife told me that apparently when we were at university, I have no memory of this, I was considering moving to Canada to ski for a season. And she was like, she was very much against it. Apparently, I don't remember it. And I think that I've always thought that I need to do it like everyone else is doing it. Move to the Alps, move to the Swedish mountains and do it for real. Mm-hmm. But it has worked in a way anyways. With getting an education and having kids and a family and a house on the Swedish East Coast. Mm-hmm. And that's, I'm happy about that now and thankful.
Friluftsfrämjandet, the Swedish Outdoor Organization, is a good organization to stay in the industry and still have ordinary work, kids, and still work with ski school. To not lose it those years, to be there, and maybe if you take all the courses and the exam, you can also work with education other people's. So then you can do more, but still stay in the industry, and that's maybe why Swedish people ski a lot, because we ski a lot, not just in the mountains, we ski at home as well.
Yeah, with you. Joel, can I take you back to... listeners are going to kill me, but this has been a popular theme that's popped up in the last year. There's a few threads that run through the Ski Instructor podcasts. Hopefully I've left Telemark behind, because I stop rattling on about that. But the one that is my current obsession is the crossover between skating and skiing. Mm-hmm. Right, so if you've grown up, I watch a lot of hockey these days. I'm often the scene for kind of football, as we know it. That's the big sport in the UK where I used to come from. The level of that is not so high over here, but the level of ice hockey is high over here. So I get my kind of live sport buzz from going down and watching the hockey, and that led me to start trying to play a little bit and just skate in general. And it's amazing to me the crossover movements. It's the wrong choice of words. The movements that do translate from one to the other. And since we've got a guy on here who actually has played, skiing becomes quite simple if you skate a lot, I find, or have found. Right, the balance point on a skate is tiny. When you get on a ski after you've been skating for the weekend or whatever, and you're just like, it's too easy.
And you need to move the balance from one leg to another.
Yeah, right. So you've got to be agile on your feet. You find yourself in some weird places. I've definitely talked about this on the podcast before. Like, you find yourself on some
mass center.
Yeah. There are certain differences, and in terms of how you move on a skate compared to a ski. But maybe if you could just quickly freestyle off on that.
Yeah.
Skiing versus skating, and how it's similar and how it's different.
I think recently I reflected more because my kids are cross-country skiers, or our whole family is. And the translation from if you skate on cross-country skis and then towards ice hockey, that's when I've noticed the biggest sort of overlap, and also seeing kids learning to skate, the transfers the transfer between the two from the perspective of kids learning it from the first time has been because they learn to skate on ice hockey skates early, and also cross country, and I think it helped them. I have reflected over the years that a lot of former hockey players find a lot of joy in alpine skiing. I'm not sure if it is from I haven't reflected from a technical perspective of what I brought with me, but I think from a general physicality perspective is that you need to be able to be quite strong in your legs, obviously, to be able to skate for a whole match. You need to be able to sprint. You need to be able to bend and extend, etc. So I think it's and also the activity time is quite similar. You do a shift for a minute, you do a run for a minute. I think so it's
It certainly looks to me from a technical perspective that you learn a lot about how to use your ankles would be one. And I think the main difference that I can see is in terms of the power source, right? In terms of how you generate your speed. In skiing, you're using gravity, or you're working with gravity. Gravity's trying to pull you down the hill. You can make speed on skis for sure, but essentially we're working with gravity. Whereas on ice, you're the one that's having to generate the power, and that's where all these extra moves come in. Because you can't, if you just stand on the ice, nothing's going to happen. But if you just stand on the snow, something is going to happen if you're standing in the right spot.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, the last because my younger son plays ice hockey when we are actually home during winter, but I found it so much fun these days to skate and try to carve, and I think that's a lot of overlap, because then I've just okay, how would this feel like on skis, and to actually be able to dare to get a lot of edge angle on skates is super fun, but also quite hard in this, because you just need to build up a lot of momentum, as you say, with your body, and then actually just do a really nice carve turn.
I used to use that when I teaching my racers.
How do you apply it?
In the preseason, I'm living in a city called Sandviken, and they are very big in bandy. You know bandy?
I do, actually. I do.
Huge ice.
A football field on ice.
It's crazy.
So it's very big.
Yeah.
So in the preseason, we do a lot of ice skating because between the start and the first gate, the one who's getting most speed there, it's seconds on a run when they are this small. And also, if you are able to make that much inner force, so you can use the gravity in the first turn, you get much more angles in the second turn, and that makes you are having a higher speed in the whole course.
Yeah.
So the movement that you train when you are ice skating, you can use it on skis so much, because lots of people are, if you watch my hands, they are skating like this.
Yeah.
They don't take the skate from the center of the body.
Yeah.
So they are like Donald Duck walking.
Yeah.
You don't get that much force out of that.
It's also the glide.
Yes.
It's a glide part where you actually build up the speed that you can do. You push away and then you need to be able to glide on one leg.
Yes. And you get much more movement if you start under the center of your body.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. To be able to balance above the skate and actually roll it almost from one edge to the other and glide along it. That's where the power comes, isn't it? It's that kind of that escapement. You can't see it, listener, because it's an audio podcast. But that long time that you can spend brings you. You do notice it. You do notice it.
And also, if you have a short slope, it's very. I think it's important to start and do your skating, so you can have a good speed from the very beginning.
Yeah, you often see that at the highest level as well, don't you? They're almost skating around the first gate, sometimes even the second.
Yes.
To really build up if they haven't got too much, slope angle at the top. I'm with you. Okay.
It's actually it's an interesting question, and I think there's at least from my experience playing hockey, it's less talk about this. Like being able to skate and being able to be fast, that's one part of it, but it's way more, or perhaps obviously, about like stick handling, puck handling. I was a defenseman, so like how do you do the job that you're supposed to be, which is stop people and take the puck. But it would have been fun to have had more, for example, as a figure skater, because that's a lot of talk these days, that how can hockey players learn from figure skaters to be better? To be better. No,
it just strikes me. I mean, that's the thing. I think that's the thing that I see the most when I go to look at hockey is just the possibility of what you can do with your feet on the ice, that we don't really have that so much on skis. Like if you think about how we use our skis, we just haven't got that just that flexibility of kind of how we turn our feet and it's able to make us go in different directions. That's not there on skis. And I think that's what the magic is when I look at it. I'm just like, how is that guy got from there to there doing that, that sequence of movements with his feet? And for him, it's completely automatic. And you look at it, just like it looks impossible if you're like a beginner to this. And it's really interesting. And I think that's one of the things about skiing is that we sort of, unless you're doing a lot of freestyle-y stuff where you're going backwards a lot of the time, we don't have that. We're sort of locked into a certain movement that we do, and that's it. It's kind of, I wouldn't say it's one-dimensional, but it is certainly, it requires certain fundamentals, over the outside ski, that kind of thing, and you're fixed. You don't have as much movement available to you because you're fixed into a boot, solid-ish plastic boot. To me, that limits our possibilities compared to skating, for example.
What kind of movements do you have an example?
Yeah, I can think of many, but like I wish I could just pull up like a couple of YouTube clips of Conor McDavid, right? But like he was doing some stuff in the playoff games where I'm just like, he's going that direction, and then his feet will go from going forward, to going backwards in an instant, and then you'll have 2 feet going in 2 completely different directions. All at the same time as, hanging onto the puck and having his head up, being able to work out what he's going to be doing. It's extraordinary when you think about it.
Yeah.
It's absolutely incredible what you can get done when you have that, when you have it, and you're doing that because I guess you've just got the boot underneath your foot, so you can do it. But if you've got a ski that's, 1.75 meters long, you don't have that optionality,
Have you watched any of the videos of people skating like in ice courses downhill with like jumps and stuff?
Yeah.
That must be the perfect combination.
Do you think? I'm not sure it is, because you've got. I've looked at that. They're on the floor most of the time, but presumably because the balance point is so fine, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna struggle to keep up. It's like being on the world's smallest snowblade, I'm guessing.
Yes. Insane.
Yeah, but it's skating is but I think I think the playing hockey for me is the fun stuff, and then skating comes automatically.
If you've done it from you're a kid, right? That you just do it. But for me, trying to learn that as an adult, it blows your mind. But anyway, I don't want to turn this into a hockey podcast.
There's plenty of those.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, you're right. My let's say I'm a young Swede, and I want to go and get my pin, right? Like I've got an aspiration to be the best, ski instructor I could possibly be. You said there's a number of different organizations working, but how do I get started? What do those organizations look like? What's the pathway?
First, you're going to find a job.
So you start before you started?
Those days, it's like this, that if the ski school likes you, they help you to get education.
Okay, so you go along to whatever mountain it is and say, hey,
one person on education. In some ski schools for those who's working the first year or something like that. But if you are in the organization that me and Joel are representing Friluftsfrämjandet, then you can start before you finish school.
Okay.
So then you can apply for. You can just take a course, and then you can tell a ski school that I have this. Do you want me?
Okay.
Yes, so the Swedish system works that you have 4 steps, so 1 to 4. They are each a week long, and you can imagine it being from green to black in terms of the level that you focus on post education.
Yeah.
Within the Swedish Outdoor Organization, we also have a 2-day introductory course that is more adapted to the way the ski schools. You can imagine. Our organization, Friluftsfrämjandet, has about 70 or 80 ski schools spread across all of Sweden, and we cover all of the places that is not the mountains, that is not the big resorts. And in those places, that is all volunteers running a ski school with maybe 100, like 50, 100, 200, 300, 500 skiers or snowboarders across the season. And then you can get started as an assistant, let's call it. Then you work with someone that has at least gone to level 1. If you go to, for example, Åre, which would be a famous, then you get hired by the resort company, for example, SkiStar. That will most likely, as Anna said, if they like you, they will send you to level 1 and level 2 at least before you start in December, or at least during your first season. And then you go with a slough, as it's called. that's the other big organization for running ski instructor courses. And they're spread up in the mountains, but across the sort of the Swedish mountain chain.
Which instructor organization has the ISIA affiliation attached to it?
Both, actually, because both the Swedish Outdoor Organization and SLAO are organized. Are organized by the ski instructors in Sweden are organized by the
Swedish Ski Council.
Yes.
That we talked about earlier.
Skidlärarpodden.
Yeah.
The Ski Instructor Association. Maybe you can see it like a sports club.
Okay.
So all the ski instructors are organization can be in there, and they have the ISIA, and they are in the same organization like the Swedish Ski Council.
Yeah.
So everybody gets to the same point where you get the ISIA
stamp and card at the right levels. Okay.
Yes. And you can start in SLAO, and you can take the next course in Friluftsfrämjandet, the Swedish Outdoor Organization, and you can go back to SLAO. You can cross because we have the same educational plan.
Oh, so actually they're just cool with each other. So they've got two organizations, but they're not fighting with each other.
No, not at all. They're working with each other.
Oh, how nice. Okay.
Those two are the big ones. And then just to paint the whole picture, then you have quite a bit of alternatives, for example, that are more school-based, that you spend a year to take your, for example, level 3 and 4, and you spend a year at a school to do that. And there's been another school that recently closed where you got all 4 steps across your time there. They are, I'm not sure what they are not universities, but they're called like people universities, like Folkuniversitet is in Swedish. Eller folkhögskola, so higher education.
Yeah, okay, like a vocational school.
Yeah.
Okay.
But everything ends up with the certification of by level 4, and then you are then allowed to go up for your exams.
What do you mean go up for your exams?
Now, you are eligible to sign up for the Swedish exams after you have finished your level 4. And that is, Anna, are you okay with me breaking it down?
Yes, of course.
All right. So the Swedish exams are broken up into two pieces. So you have the first block, as it's called. That's in January, usually by week 5, and that handles all of the ski technique sections. So you ski for 6 turns. You ski a giant slalom course. And you also have a theory exam for that block.
Based on ski techniques, yes.
Okay.
Ski techniques on that one.
So if you pass that's your first hurdle. Mm-hmm. So after you pass that, you are 50% done with your exams. That takes about a week.
Yeah.
Then the second block happens in late winter. I think it was week 13 this year. I don't know why that matters, but anyways, that handles your skills of analysis, your leadership, communication. This is the hard English word, pedagogy.
Yeah.
So then basically what you do is that you give a 20-minute lecture, you give a connected 50-minute workshop outside on snow.
Wow.
And then you do a 50-minute test analysis. Basically, you need to analyze a skier and explain what you see, why what you see happens, and how you would sort of evolve the skier.
Sounds like our job interview process at my ski school. Yeah. That's what Max does. It's part 2. So for anyone who's trying to get a job with snow pros, that's what one of the hurdles you have to get over. You have to go and see Max, and he shows you some videos. Say, what do you think about this skier? Oh, cool. So let me just get this straight then. So when you're doing like the initial training, there's 4 levels to that.
Yep.
Which is like
1 week each.
1 week each. So there's 4 weeks of kind of just general training. I'm guessing teaching technical, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Then once you've got all of those, you are then able to go forward to this 2-part module or 2-module part week each. One is technique and an exam. And then the second part is the bit you just talked about, which is like the teaching, leadership, analysis, all of that sort of stuff. And a presentation and a workshop and all that that sort of thing. And are these the final 2 bits that you get before the full badge? Then you put the badge on yourself and you're like, I'm the boss.
Then after that, to get fully certificated, you need to do the safety education as well. Then you have, how many days is it?
That's 7 days.
Is that the off-piste safety?
Of avalanches. And
like the European, or what used to be the European mountain safety, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Cool.
Yeah. So, and then after that, you need to do the speed test to get your card.
Is the speed test not in the block 1, or is that just an internal one?
You can do speed test before you start your exam. Then you don't have to do the giant course on the first block.
Okay, so if you're Sarah Hector and you just want to get it out of the way, you just do it, right? Okay.
I can also say that in our organization, besides sort of the 2-day starter, you also have a certification between each level. So basically between 1 and 2, et cetera, you do 2 tests. You do a test for your skiing and a test for your leadership communication. And then you do that. That's what we call a certification. So before you move on to the next step, you always need to have passed the certification. And then so after level 4, you pass certification, and then you're eligible to go up for your exams.
And what level do you get the ISA stamp within this?
That's after your safety course and speed test.
Okay. And then the card comes after the second block?
No, the card comes after those. So the stamp you get after you've done your safety course and you have verified a second discipline.
Okay.
So after you have stamp, then what you have left now is the speed test.
Oh, okay.
So then after you've then passed the speed test, you're going to get the card.
Oh, wow. And which speed test do the Swedes take? The Euro test or the ISA speed test, or both? Or
it's ISA speed test.
ISA speed test. Okay.
And that sort of alternates between being organized by Sweden and Norway once a year.
Wow. Okay. And you have unlimited goes at the speed test? Like you can just get better at it over time? Okay.
I think you have 2 or 3 runs.
Yeah, per go.
Depending on lots of stuff.
Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting.
That's the journey.
That's the journey. How long does it take people to get, I mean, on average, how long does it take to do all of that stuff? Normally.
For me, it took many years, because I did not know that I wanted to graduate. I was just a happy ski instructor living in the mountains. Mm-hmm. So it was never a goal for me on my journey. I just had fun, and suddenly I was like, I can try it. So for me, it was like 5 years or something, but that's not for every. It's a very big difference.
Yeah, 17 years from me.
So you can do it in like 2-3 years if you are very dedicated.
Yeah, if you're really going for it. But I suppose that's the same for a lot of systems, right? Like you can really...
And if you have a lot of, if you are an experienced skier when you start.
Yeah, because and you've got a lot of budget, I guess, right?
Yes, if you maybe was a young racer or something, then it's easier. Yeah. Or living in the mountains. Just a 1 week skier it's difficult to do it.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that's the same the world over, isn't it?
Player then.
Yeah.
But I think from my side, it's what I said. Like doing the actual courses was fairly like every year / every second year, combined with university studies and stuff like that. And that was just because at that place, as a student, I could not pay like 1,000 to 1,500 euros just to do it myself. So I needed to work in the ski school to finance everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm very grateful that it has taken it has been such a a learning experience just going through everything, and then and where I'm at right now, for example, I got my stamp, and then I'm going to do the speed test next year. That's my plan.
Yeah.
So then I need to look forever. I've only done a GS course on the exams and or like some few training sessions. So now it's like, okay, how do I actually build my season next year around actually passing the speed test, and at that time then learning of how do you race, how do you do a course in the best way.
And the hardest part in this for you is to understand that you're going to go fast and faster and faster and faster and faster, because it's not nice to go that fast in a course. And you have thought so much about how to do this properly. Blah, blah, blah. You just have to put all that aside and just go. Leave your head on start and go.
The head is often the blocker for everything I do.
As we all know, right? As we all know.
And so for every year I get older, I go so much faster doing the courses, because I don't dare to go fast anymore.
Did you say that you actually go faster year by year?
Slower.
Slower.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was like, that was.
I was going to say I'm the same.
No. I yes. Oh, the head is.
Yeah,
but I'm excited about that, to have something to plan around, and I'm also excited about my kids being very keen on started mogul skiing next year. So I'm gonna get to ski moguls more from how do you actually, because we were up and we saw an actual Swedish Cup, and I was like, how does these 9, 10, 11-year-olds go down this vertical wall of giant moguls and just it's so cool. And I want to keep trying stuff and keep evolving. I think that's been the point, and keeps being the point.
I think if you were to go back to, you were saying that skating essentially becomes autonomous at some point when you're playing. That's kind of how it is when you end up ski racing. I think if you've done it for so long, you're not thinking too much about, you get to the point where you're not thinking too much about technique. So you're not trying to look pretty in the gates. You're just trying to go fast and hit your lines and make sure that you just do what you have to do. That's been my experience of that kind of thing. It doesn't matter if it looks ugly. Often the fastest runs are really ugly ones.
Yes.
And
does not feel convenient at all.
No, it's not. And I suppose that's the thing about it. It's a competitive thing. It's not a thing that involves doing perfect turns on the demo hill, right? Like it's a completely different world. And
I attended the race first weekend in May this year. And I was. It was very nice. You should do more competitions.
Yeah,
it's a cool thing. Can I ask you this though? If you're how does it work with regards to the mountains and the hills and the resorts where you are? Like once you've got all of these exams, and you pop out of the top of the system, can you just start up as Joel and Anna's ski school, or are the mountains owned by a resort and that's that, and you have to work within that school?
It depends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that in some places it works, some places it doesn't?
Sure.
Yeah, but if you go to Åre or Vemdalen, Sälen, those are so well established. You have a ski school connected to SkiStar in that case.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if they would block, but as far as I know, you need to talk to them if you're gonna work in the system.
Yeah.
But if we take the example, for my example is that I started a ski school in a cowboy town here up in the north called Kittelfjäll.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, do you want to start a ski school? That's awesome, because we don't want to do it. we don't know how. We can't do it.
Yeah.
So it depends. And then there are, and if you want to do a ski school in the non-resort places, that's very much, you are welcome with open arms to. Usually it is probably going to be a ski school, but to actually go in there and help run it, work at it, evolve it, you're just going to be welcomed. So there's not much of a, there's not, in our last conversation, we talked about like multiple ski schools in one place and all of that. You're usually not going to see that, or you're not going to see that.
Is that because of volume of skiers, or just, in terms of demand?
Yeah, I think both. Actually, when I said that, I think Åre actually has had multiple ski schools. I'm not sure if the other ones are actually big enough to be dangerous, so to speak. You have there's no need and more of a monopoly in many places. Yeah, okay.
But what I understood when I was working in Champery, that when you get all those courses and you passed all the tests, then you get all the money. If you're having a group lesson.
Oh, yeah. Well, yes. It works.
It's kind of different if you are like in the ESS system. So then you're on your own. Then you are your own ski school.
Kind of, yes. So I think that a lot of the
maybe it has changed.
No, I think it's very similar. I think so. What happens is that the École Ski Suisse, in some places, the red schools are cooperatives, and it works the same in France. So you can kind of buy a share into that school if you reach, I guess, a certain level. And then, like I say, whatever revenue comes in the door, you get paid, and you get the first pick of all the decent lessons and all that sort of stuff. But it's there's another way, which is essentially, if you've got the full certification, you have the right to start up your own ski school. And you just back yourself against the market, and you just get going and try and find your own niche. That's how it's worked a lot, for example, in a place like Verbier, where you might have people who've worked for ski schools before, and they just there's so much demand there that people just think, I'll just start my own thing. And so you see ski schools work for a bit, and then they splinter off. A couple of guys go off in that direction, and they start their own thing. And the next thing you've got like 25 ski schools in the resort or something. But that's an exceptional thing. You're not going to get that in the far north of Sweden, where there isn't, millions of people coming every week.
But I think me and Anna, we also run a podcast called Skidlärarpodden, where we get to speak to a lot of ski instructors, Swedish ski instructors. And so this is based on many of those conversations, and that is basically that being a ski instructor in Sweden is quite unsustainable, because you're usually going to be under, when you work at a resort, you're going to be under, what the hell is that called? Kollektivavtal, it's called in Swedish, but like collective bargaining agreements.
Oh, okay.
Right. So you're going to you're going to be under the same sort of agreements that everyone at the resort is under. You're going to be blocked for your hourly wage by that. And so if you talk to Swedish ski instructors, I think everyone would agree that it is, from a wage perspective, it's not a sustainable way to do it over a long period of time.
I couldn't agree more. I was talking to multiple people about this at the weekend. In my view, there's only a couple of ways, maybe 3, that you can make a proper living, like an annual income out of skiing, right? And one is to run a school and have plenty of people working for you. The other one would be to sell your time, for money, but you'd have to charge a really big premium. Like you have to position yourself as the guru and charge appropriately.
People has just not understand that I am the guru.
But then your marketing's all off, right? Because you want to have people flying in on private jets to ski with you. That's essentially the market. That's the other model.
Yes.
Like your private ski instructor to the stars, and you charge $5,000 a day, right? Like that's the other model.
Would you say then that is what I said is a truth even down in the Alps?
Yeah.
That's actually an interesting realization, because from a narrative perspective, many people do believe that it's better elsewhere. I think outside of Sweden, me included, that you are more able to do a sustainable living.
Let me clarify that. So if you're a full cert, so let's say, you're both, right? So, and you're both European citizens. If you already then, if you were to come to Switzerland, you could convert your qualification to a full Swiss brevet just through a paperwork process. And then you have the right, just as I do, to start up a ski school and get going. Then, if you do that right, so let's say that you target a very specific market. So let's say I am, the number one, we are the number one ski school for Swedish skiers in Switzerland. And you go to Andermatt or wherever it is the Swedes go, right? And you set, you put your flag in the ground and you can get going. And that is only limited in terms of possibility by your ambition, I suppose, and how well it goes. If you just come, let's say you're halfway through the system and you're not full qualified, you have to go and work for someone else. And the way that skiing works, for example, here in Switzerland, and indeed in some other countries, is that you would have to go and work for someone. You can't set up a ski school without your full cert. So then you are limited by how much you can earn per hour. And that's where that phrase comes from, what do you do in the summer? Because you just can't make an annual income out of working for someone like me. Because I can't afford. I would love to pay my guys an annual income, but the amount that we charge for ski lessons does not sustain an annual wage for ski instructors. It just doesn't, and it never will. It can't. It just can't.
What would be an average hourly wage
here? Well, that's a really good question. I think probably full certified ski instructors can earn somewhere between 50 and 70 francs an hour, depending on where they are. Level 2s, I've seen people paying 20 francs an hour for level 2s. I've seen people pay 35 for level 2s. So the spread is somewhere in between all of that. And depending on how nice your employer is, you'll get perks or not, depending on who they are. Right, though. So Anna, I'm not sure how it was when you were in Champéry, but some ski schools still do the thing where you have to rent the uniform for them for the season. Okay. You have to buy your own lift pass, all of that sort of stuff. I personally, in my school, I'm trying to move that on so that the instructor is supplied with everything that they need just to get going, and what I expect in return is that they just do really good work. And I think that's how you should treat people in general, but I'm out there on my own, I think, a little bit on that. But, you know, that doesn't mean it's wrong. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, that's but still, if you take into account, you know, let's say you've moved away from your hometown, you've still got to find somewhere to live. You know, property and ski resorts and places to rent is becoming increasingly more expensive year on year. It's hard to find, and it's not easy, but it never has been. But I think the way to do it, I know people who are making year-round incomes out of skiing. The other option, I'm not sure if it exists. I'm not sure if it exists in Sweden, but certainly the guys who make like the demo team in the education pool in Switzerland, are probably getting close to making a year-round income from skiing. It won't be anywhere near in line with what you could earn working in an office in Switzerland, but you're out on the snow every day. It's pretty cool. Yeah, but it's just one of those things. Unfortunately, it's not a valued profession, as much. So you have to find another way. Tell me, how long have we got? Because I know that you're a bit pushed for time. One of you, I'm not sure who it is.
No, I'm good. No stress from my side.
I have like 20 minutes or something.
Oh, good. All right. Well, let's go. I can get a couple more in then. I would love to ask, how do the Swedes think that skiing works? Like, how do you get the turn going in Sweden? Like, how does it work? What's your technical model?
Our technical model is very much based on we are starting with how the ski is connected to the snow.
Okay.
So a little bit like the ice skates.
Yeah.
On ice.
Okay.
And you can say that the technical goals are 3. It's like balanced and prepared. And the skis are doing the work, and the outside ski is guiding the turn.
Yeah.
And also it's natural and simple movement patterns, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's we are focusing on being balanced and moving the body mass center up and down, side by side, sida, and back and forward. And also there is, of course, rotations in different meanings.
Mm-hmm.
And we are also trying to get those 3 punkter, Joel?
Aspects, points. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
To improve, and there is a
Variables. Yeah.
On how the snow conditions are.
Okay, so you essentially which movements do we need given
on
the
ice,
snow?
Very powdery day
that is happening.
Moguls, if you're doing a wedge turn or if you're doing a carve turn, those 3 points, those 3 lines are working together. And if you misses one of those, you're probably going to get some...
Yeah, some weird effect, right?
Yes, different effects.
Yeah.
So basically, just to repeat, the 3 things that we talked about is balance and prepared would be the first brick. Then you would have
balance and if I can. Sorry, it's not often I get a chance to really dive into technical, but what balance and prepared at the point of transition, like between
All the
turns?
time.
Yeah. No, as I said, all the time.
All the time.
And to be prepared to basically complete a movement that's needed at that point in the turn.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And also balanced in the sense of laterally across the ski, as we said, up and down and side by side.
Mm-hmm. And forward and up.
So not talking about a static position, but a continuously fluid position and a dynamic position.
Okay.
Hence balanced and prepared.
All right. And the second...
We don't do a lot of powder in Sweden, like every day. We talk lots about having the weight on the outside ski.
Okay.
You don't...
So this is one of the fundamental, because it's the second thing that you mentioned, right? Was outside ski to outside ski.
Yes. And we are one of our goals in this part is like the skis are the tools for your technique.
Okay.
And different skis give different outcome.
Yeah, with you.
Long turn, short turn, soft, wide, narrow. So it's based on what you're skiing on, kind of skis, and what kind of snow you skis in.
And is that taken into account when we're talking like an exam situation? You know, you wake up on day 2 of the exam and it's snowed all night, and you might choose to bring a different set of skis or something with you given the conditions. Like, are you then, when you're looking at that and you're examining it, you're saying, well, hang on, if he's on a ski that's, you know, way wider than a regular piste ski, and I'm asking him to do this, that, and the other, his or her movements are going to change, right, accordingly.
Yes, we are also evaluate skiers in kind of from those 3 points, but we are also teaching from those. Those are our 3 technical goals that we are talking about when we are teaching around. Yes, as in a teaching perspective, but also in a technical perspective, that the skis are the tools who's doing the job, and I need to adjust my balance up and down, side by side, back and forward, depend on the snow, the steepness, you know, everything, the kind of turn I want to turn now. Maybe it's short turns, maybe it's moguls, but we have those 3 technical goals that we are working around.
Okay. And can I ask then? No, go on.
Are the goals clear, or should we repeat them? Wondering if, I'm just wondering because I got a bit lost. So
I'm with you. So I've got balanced and prepared. I've got outside ski to outside ski. What was the third one?
A natural and simple movement pattern.
Oh, I like that. Okay. What does that mean?
From my perspective, we also talk about a continuous change of the edge angle through the whole turn.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah.
So basically, it would be about being in constant motion and not find yourself static in a turn, but you bend your inside leg until you can't really bend it anymore. Then you extend and edge shift. Yeah. So being in a constant dynamic motion would lead you to a natural and simple movement pattern. So not, and as Anna said, it's all about moving your body in a way that makes the ski interact with the snow in the way you want to reach your goal.
And also what you're skilled to do. If you're 3 years old, or if you're 13 or 30, if you're a former race skier, if you are a beginner, so you still have those 3 goals, technical goals, and you are working around it to get better. So you can improve by combining those three technical goals to each other. I put them on the, so you can read them in the chat if you want to.
Oh yeah, okay. That'll be me not being able to use technology to see any of this stuff. Okay, I'll find it. With the okay, but that's quite pragmatic then, isn't it? Because what you can do essentially is just, you're not asking people to make shapes or look in a certain way. You're just saying, we've got to just do what we need to do here in order to get the skis to do what we want them to do.
What they are built to do, yes.
Yeah. So that might, in terms of how you teach and assess that leaves everything quite open then, doesn't it?
Yes. So it's while you're teaching the Swedish, like we talk in Sweden, depends on where you are, and where you want to go.
Yeah.
What kind of goal do you have? And if the goal is just to go from the top to the restaurant and down, you don't need to train like you're going to the Olympics. So very much is to find a natural movement that can make you to have the best day skiing that you can.
Yeah.
That you want to. And for every lesson, you put like a new circle on your teaching. So next time you're skiing, you might wondering, what can I improve?
Yeah.
So we are teaching, and we are using a lot of Kolb's theories while teaching, especially when we talk about techniques, about the learning circle. So it's going to be a way of put more knowledge and get better for every time you ski.
Yeah.
And then you still are moving around those three technical goals to improve them, to get the more you know, the more you know that you don't know. So
with you.
You know.
I do know.
And that goes in line with sort of, because from the Swedish, again, the Swedish Ski Council has put out the two overarching goals for skiers and leaders, which would be individually and situationally adapted methodologies and technique. So that needs to be always adapted. Like Anna just said, it needs to be adapted to this situation and this individual.
Yes.
And also conscious and self-aware skiers and leaders. And that's sort of the overarching goals of everything. So how can we make the there's usually saying you can't teach someone to ski, but you can help them teach themselves. And that, I think, is quite clear of what we're talking about. Put them in an experiential learning circle to have them experience something, to be more balanced and prepared, or have a more natural movement pattern, for example.
Okay, interesting. When we are, how do you teach the kind? Do you have sort of phases of the turn? Like, how do you teach actually getting the turn going, and what happens within the turn? Do you see what I mean? So at some point, something's got to happen to get the skis to turn. We're balanced and we're ready at the top of the turn. But how? And you were talking about a continuous, I'm guessing a progressive rolling on and off of the edge. How are you getting that edge to work within the turn?
I think it goes to answer that. It goes back to the individual nature of everyone has their own way of doing it in a way. But I can tell you how if I have a group or a private lesson in my ski school, how do I get the ski to turn is by bending the inside leg.
Okay.
Would be what would sort of start inclination and put the skis on edge, and that would make create the interaction on the outside ski to make it turn, to bend and to turn.
It's amazing how much of a similarity, if we go back to our hockey chat, that there's a lot of inside knee action on a hockey chat, right? Yeah, okay, because that's one thing that I have noticed very much when I even took a hockey lesson, right? And the similarities are crazy,
Nice.
with that kind of thing. A hockey lesson, a skating lesson. And that was really, really interesting. And that's something that I've been playing with all year, is how we work with the flex on the inside leg, how we roll it, how we use that kind of interior, lateral movement of the inside leg as well to get things going. And it's a very, very fluid and easy and soft way to get the turn going. I found it's a lot less work than what maybe I used to do in the old days, which would be, trying to get up and outside and over and on top of the outside ski and add pressure into it. It seems to be the inverse, and it's a much easier way to get things going, in my view.
Yeah, I think from my perspective, the simplest way that I usually take would be to you extend your new outside leg in order to put the skis flat, and then you bend your inside leg. It doesn't need to be more complex than that, but you need to extend your current inside leg in order to put it in a mechanically strong position. It needs to be straight in order to handle the forces. So that's the first thing you do. And when you're there, then in order to, again, do your turn, you bend the inside leg, and then the skis do the job. And then, of course, you can talk about, with advanced gears, we talk about the angulation and creating more angles and all of that. But for skiing, that doesn't need to be more complex than that.
Mm-hmm. Is that how you think about it, Anna? Is that how you teach it?
Yes, it is. And it's so interesting to listen to somebody explain it. It's very fun and nice. And everything I hear, I want to say, yes. So it's based on the outside ski and your balance, and what kind of balance. How do you need to work with your balance to get on the outside ski?
Yeah, because we're all different, right? We're all balanced.
Yes.
We're all balanced in a different way.
Yes.
Yeah, that's for sure. Thank you for what you sent over on the chat. I'm guessing that's incredible. I'm going to have to read that later. I can't talk and read at the same time.
I think so too.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Before, I know time is limited, so I just want to finish off maybe with this one. But let's get on to the interski chat that we talked about.
Yes.
Anna, you've been a couple of times. And
yes.
What do you get out of it apart from the prestige of saying I've been to interski? Like what I know that it's you probably get a lot of you go to a lot of workshops, you get a lot of new ideas, and you bring all those home. I'm only teasing, really, but what have you personally got out of it in the times that you've been?
Me personally, I've got a lot of inspiration, and if somebody's curious on what Sweden has experienced on interski, the Snowsport Sweden demo team has a
bunch of videos
channel.
Oh, cool!
And the videos there are videos from each country's workshop.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody can take part of what we have done there.
Oh, that's really good. That's really good.
So it's one way of spreading the word of what happened on interski.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're managing a ski school and you find one of those very interesting, then you can watch it together and then go outside and try what are Germany doing, what are UK doing. So then you can try different countries' way of teaching and talking about techniques. So I think it's a good way of sharing. But I'm getting a lot of inspiration from going on interski, and my biggest motivation to stay on the demo team is to improve my own skills, and my other motivation in life is to see and work with other people and see how they are developing. It doesn't matter if they are developing like leaders, if they are developing like skiers. It's just a way of getting a kind of environment and the context that other people want to grow. So for me, it's the perfect place to be. You can have and you can manage to do a workshop on the highest level, on the most skills participations in the world on skis. I had a workshop on interski 2023 in Levi together with Lina, another girl from Sweden, and we were the first workshop of the first interski. It was fully booked from a few weeks before it started, so it was very fun. And one of the most well-known skiers and demo teamers came afterward and said, "Oh, what a great experience. I'm picking this and that from this and put it on my workshop." So
that's great, isn't it?
It's fun. It's so fun. And the context to talk to other in this way of very high level of skiing and teaching and coaching. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Do you want to do a brief on the workshop? What did you talk about?
I did talk about how we teach in Sweden. We talked about the theories behind teaching, and we put the group in the experience of teaching, and for every step we took, we put the theories on it. The next layer was the theory, and then we made a new experience doing new turns, and then put more theories on. So when we were finished, we had done a full teaching circle and talked about the theory around it.
Okay.
And if anyone is curious about that, I just realized that if the Swedish Ski Council provide the sort of the educational material that the Swedish system is based on, it's out public on the internet, and it's translated to English and other languages as well. So maybe we can provide a link to that.
Yeah, please do, and I'll put that
the Swedish view of teaching.
Yeah, that would be tremendous. No, that's really good. I think that's useful, right? Every now and then, I think it probably happens to me at least once or twice a year, is that I'll see someone doing something, or we'll hold a training session, and then one of my colleagues will do something, and I will immediately, pull out my notebook and just start writing down, I'm going to use that. I'm going to steal that, and I'm going to pass that off as my own idea. And that is, it's how you come across good ideas, isn't it? I mean, it's important that you have a place where we can do this kind of sharing of really cool ideas to teach skiing, so that everyone can benefit, right? It's not like, to me, it seems logical, and it's one of my favorite things that happens, during our training sessions, is that you come across, and it doesn't matter who comes up with it. It doesn't matter what their seniority is, doesn't matter what qualifications or anything that they've got. It's like you've got an amazing way of getting your message across there, and that's something that I'm going to try and use. And that happens to me often. It's an amazing thing.
And that would be related to like just being growth oriented and humble to the fact that I can be better and I want to be better. So I listen and adapt.
Yeah, 100%. I'm totally with you on that. I've kept you guys for a long time. I've got one last little question, actually. Do you mind if it take you like a second to answer?
Go ahead.
What's the snow like in Sweden? Like I don't
Perfect.
say like white and
Perfect.
cold.
Everyone should come here.
Well, I expect they should.
And also, it's this Nordic light every night.
Yes.
Yeah.
The sky is green every time, and
No, but
20 minus and 2 meters of snow. Ice bears on the snow. On the streets.
Polar bears wandering down the street. Is it? I mean, do you get? I guess you get cold snow, right? It's cold there in the winter.
Yeah. I mean, it obviously very much varies. It's for example, if you again, this is I'm gonna make my summaries now. So
you're in the north, right? So
no, yeah, exactly. You should go. I'm gonna give you the GPS coordinates. For example, Kittelfjäll, where I run the ski school, usually is sort of up on the top of the snow depth charts.
Okay.
So it's sort of a famous free ride resort.
Yeah.
It's really hard. Not really hard, but if you have a car, it's sort of, you can get there, but you can't get. Anyways, it's a lot of snow. Last year we got no snow. Oh, this past season we had a terrible snow year, so that's usually. You're not going to get how do you characterize the snow, but like for example, Åre is more used to being a bit more firm, a bit more how do you say, you're going to encounter a lot of how do you say, snow cannons,
like manufactured snow,
that kind of snow,
harder.
So I mean, are you like so it's cold there? You got lots of kind of real snow, I'm guessing. So you got lots of hero snow, right? It's grippy. Makes you feel good.
And then the rain comes.
Oh, you got rain?
The day after, you have like 23 minus.
Yeah.
And you get perfect
sheet ice. Oh, great. Okay. So you get the full mixed bag, actually.
I'm very good at sharpening very sharp edges on skis.
86 degrees.
Since I have 2 racers at home. My kids.
Yeah.
But I think you get a long and varied season. I mean, the season usually starts October in some places. So you can ski in October, and then you ski until right now. If you're going to have hero snow, you should go up to the Extension at the far north of Sweden, and the resort is still open. They're going to be open until midsummer.
Then you can. Then it's midsummer sun. So you ski in the middle of the night, and it's
it's so crazy.
So it's
okay, cool.
But I think, for example, now on the 1st of May, we had. I think it was hero snow, but it's just different in November when, I mean, it changes, but it's usually quite predictable at least.
Yeah, okay.
And a long season.
Yeah, and a long season. I was going to say you ski for 6 months at least, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Where do you want me? Like everyone gets a chance to kind of promote themselves and tell me where to point people to go and see your stuff.
Our stuff is in Swedish, so if you're a Swedish listener, you should check out Skidlärarpodden. And maybe that's I'm not sure. Anna, would you have something else?
We have some episodes in English.
Yeah,
that is true. That is true. Yes,
I've got. We have a few before it was me and Joel, when it was me and Claes. And we have one or two. We got one with you and one with
Brian Corbellini from Vail.
Vail. So there is.
And if people want to ski with you when they're in Sweden, where should they go to? Or will you send me a link so that I don't have to try and...
Find me on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's maybe the easiest way.
That's the best way. So you said, so check the podcast notes for Instagram links.
Yes.
And we go from there. Well, listen, thank you. Oh yeah, go on.
I send you the description of the the Swedish workshop on email. So
yeah, please do. That's amazing.
And that's in English. So
excellent. So I'll add all of that, dear listener, and you can check that out at your own convenience. That would be tremendous. So, Joel, Anna, thank you so much for taking the time. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
It was so much fun.
Oh, good. I'm pleased to hear it, and I think this is going to come out great. So, yeah, thank you, and catch up with you again soon, I hope.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
See you later. All right.